just watched was a tripod mount I made that would hold my iPad so I can film movies with my iPad. I'm now going to show you how to make an easy mount that will hold your iPad on your tripod. What you'll need is a piece of wood somewhere around 4 feet long and a piece of plywood. Take your piece of wood and rip a piece that is 1.5 inches wide. From that 1.5 inch piece, be like this. From this 1.5 inch piece, cut one piece off that is 6.5 inches. This piece will come into play later. You also need a piece of plywood that is 9.5 by 11 inches long. You could go to Lowe's or Home Depot and they'll cut it for you if you don't have a table saw. I had an old piece of scrap, I used my table saw and I cut it 9.5 this way by 11. You'll need that for the back. You're going to have to cut a track out of this piece. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 11 inches long each. I'm going to show you how to cut these tracks. I'm going to show you where you put a hole in the backing or the lens for your camera. Then we'll put the whole thing together. I'll show you how to put the mount on, and then right after that you'll be able to put it right onto your tripod. The hardest step for making this is make the track that the iPad will slide into. The best way I think you can do that, there might be other ways. What I did is I take my iPad and I mark how thick it is on the wood. Make yourself a mark. That will show you how thick the iPad is. It's going to be sliding into. You're then going to want to raise the peak of your blade up to that mark. Right there. Now that blade is going to cut the depth of this iPad. Okay. Now what you have to do is measure over from the blade. Make sure you measure from the outside of the blade 1.5 inches. Actually, that's wrong. 1/2 inch. We're going to go 1/2 inch from the blade. We're going to be making the track that 1/2 inch from the inside. Not the outside. I said outside. Inside. The inside of the blade to the fence, 1/2 inch, like that. Now we're going to need 2 11-inch pieces from this. This right here is well over 11 inches. I come down and mark somewhere in the neighborhood of 25, gave myself plenty of room. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the track somewhere up to around this mark, making sure I have at least 22 inches. But I don't need to cut all the way through. I like to, when I'm making these tracks, I bring it up and then just let the saw stop, pick it up, and I'll have my track. So let's cut that first track. Now you have a track that is the thickness of the iPad, and it's 1.5 inches into the frame. Now the next tricky part, mark the depth of your track, and then you're going to have to come set the blade up the height of your track. So you're going to have to raise it a little bit, right where it's the height of the track, and then put your mark right on the inside of that blade. Bring your fence over to the mark. We're going to bring my fence over to that mark. And now when I run this through, I'll take that part out and I'll have my track for my iPad. There you have it. Now you just take that piece out and you have your track for your iPad. I need to cut two 11-inch pieces with this track. Two 11-inch pieces. So you're almost done with the pieces. We have our two 11-inch pieces with the track in it. We have our 6.5-inch piece that works for a stop. Now we have to think about the back of the plywood. Now, if you picture an iPad, the setup is going to be like this and the iPad sliding in. Well, there's a camera lens that has to be able to see through the back of this. The mark you need to do on the plywood is you're going to come down 2 inches and make a mark. You're going to come over 2 inches and make a mark. So down 2 and over 2 from where the lens is going to be. Picture it sliding in there. So you're going to need a hole right there. I'm using this drill bit. It's made for cutting about a 2-inch diameter hole. You can use any kind of drill bit you need. You just need to have a hole that's big enough for the lens. You don't want it to be tiny, so drill a hole for your lens. So that hole should be right where the camera lens will be situated. Okay, so now all you have to do is put it together. You have your 2 pieces, your stopper, and your back. Your camera lens will come right into that hole, and all I do is screw this thing into place. Use wood screws. Get it snug, but don't run it through the plywood. Always do the corners. And then you're going to put one in the middle, and we're going to do the same thing all the way around. So here it is assembled. I put 3 screws in the top, 3 down there, 3 on each side. It should be good and strong. The camera lens will be here. Your iPad will slide in here. Slide right in, the lens will come in place there. When it's all said and done, you're going to want to take some sandpaper and sand all this. You got one more step, which is how to mount this onto your tripod. I'm going to show you what I did. You can come up with your own ideas from this, but I'm going to show you which way is the easiest and very, very strong. So for my final step, all I did was take this attachment off of the tripod and screwed it directly to this. You can pick up a tripod off Craigslist or at a yard sale or something for $10. So I would suggest you just find you a good bargain on a tripod and just dedicate that tripod to your iPad. Well, you're done. There it is, and it works great. I hooked it up and took to my daughter's softball game last night, sat behind the dugout with a tripod and my iPad and recorded parts of her game. This has tons of practical use. Anytime you need to record something with your iPad, you could set it on a tripod and record it, but you could also, I don't know, put it on your tripod and read music from it. If you was playing the guitar, you could set it up right beside you to read music. You could set it up in your kitchen to read a recipe. You could set it up beside your car and watch YouTube videos on repairing something on your car. And I mean, it has tons and tons of practical use. I made this to, I just love creating things, and I hope somebody sees this, maybe wants to make it, or it gives them a good idea to go out and be creative themselves. Hope you enjoy it.